what I love about being a 5D mystic functional adult in the Enlightenment Soul Age group is that every time there's lovely ascension energies, it's always a higher heart activation. We don't use twin flame coaches or any type of relationship coach for that matter, or tarot reader or Akashic record reader to tell us about our oversoul. One. But that's because our 3-year-old never got disowned. So a 5D mystic doesn't know a broken heart. So their 3-year-old remains in a safe home, and that would be their body, because every one of us has an embodied brain. We don't need to forgive because we automatically know how to balance equanimity. That oneness consciousness is natural because we remain in a brain that is teachable. Because our body, that means our emotions though. Because your first 3 years of life, you're all implicit memory, which means sensations come up. And the brain is made of these neurons, and I have a whole explanation that I have notes somewhere down, and I'm just going to keep it short. Julianne shares there's 6 for each of these, 100 billion million, I don't even know, 6 neurons. So 2 are for the present, 2 are for the past, and 2 then you meet in the middle, and that's our reality. And the explanation is because of your past always comes with you. So as long as you don't handle your 3-year-old, the implicit memory stuff, because see, the first 2 years, they say we have a 2-year-old. That's a whole other topic. So we're going to look at all of this for a minute. Remember, I'm pseudoscience woo-woo lady because I'm a mystic. So I do channel. And on that note, thank you, Patrick McNamara, for explaining what happens during daytime sometimes when REM seeps through and makes its way and we dissociate. Dissociation doesn't mean you faint. Daniel Siegel, in his interpersonal neurobiology course, which I'm finishing up, he explains what dissociation is, and he uses this example. You're driving along the highway, and you think about your trip to Hawaii, and oh, lo and behold, you skip your exit because you were lost in Fantasyland. Since I am a channeler, and again, a mystic, and a lot of other things that I use these words, that's because that's how it works. We have clairs, but it's not because we're special star babies. We are human babies, and there's a sphere of energy, consciousness, and there are scientific people studying it. Now, 4D likes the conspiracies because every adaptive child who has an inner child, a 3-year-old broken heart, needs to feel special because they have an attachment system that longs to be seen so that they can be soothed, so that they can be safe, so that they can be secure to be themselves. That's why so many have this whole imposter syndrome or inner critic. It's called the shame cycle. And then there's like a whole journey. If they learn about being a human baby first, and then they put the spirituality as a bonus, this is what we get to do. We get to put you're human first of all. The spirituality, spiritual awakening, and all the metaphysics, esotericism, they're all great bonuses. So human baby plus star baby. But woo-woo lady, that's why. Because I respect the scientific methodology, and I'm not a flat earther, and I will not be supporting stories just because I was raised with a background. And that's because I'm a person who uses my physical human being brain. I also have a master's, and I do appreciate the academic world in the respecting way. Like Stephen Porges, polyvagal theory doctor, who's still conducting research so that at some point on Wikipedia they can update it to it's been proven. Anybody who likes to throw stats around, by the way, they're throwing them around to try and get those who are like, oh, there's my shiny object. I like what they're saying because they're my group. People who use their human adult brain, we're not trying to prove. We're intelligent ones who wander. So we don't get a data, a list of breadcrumbs to try and prove ourselves to ourselves and then to others. That's, again, an adaptive child who's projecting, I want to be seen as valid by somebody else. So I have a group. And I have an idea, and I'm going to build a case for it. Building a case for yourself means you're trying to prove yourself, which means you don't have healthy self-worth. You have a 3-year-old that's not being seen by the adult you yet. That's a very important deal, not the Kundalini awakening in the way that, oh, you're your own guru. Yeah, you can only be your own guru if you can stand in front of somebody, no matter who it is, and say, hey, guess what? I'm a human baby, and I have thoughts and feelings, and you don't have to agree because it is subjective reality. You know how many people, no, it's not, you know what is a fact, a data point? And I'm going to use this example. A loved one of mine, they gave it to me. Because I was like, the blue sky, somebody can see it, what was it, purple or whatever, because they've done that whole where people can see different colors for different reasons. I forget the terminology. Long story short, the person's like, you do know colors are codes, right? I was like, aha, because they were trying to say, even if they call it purple, it's the blue code. And I'm like, okay, fine, numbers. That's data. So empirical data, scientific methodology people, not the ones who become science and I'm God of science and I know everything. That's a dead sure idiot who's going to be looked at by a person like me. I'm like, yeah, let me nod my head and get out of here. Because seriously, I don't have anything to say to somebody who thinks they know everything and you want to approach me like that. Yes, I'm going to go and have fun with people who know that they don't know everything and that they're humble enough to be funny about it too, and then have a good conversation. Because see, that's what sharing joy means, and that's what means being your own guru. Don't need clairs for it, just need a sense of humor and a 3-year-old that doesn't have a shame cycle, inner critic, outer critic, heartbreak, gut wrench, torn apart, feeling disgusted. It's not a devil, it's not a demon. Thank you again, Patrick McNamara, for proving from his studies so far as a neuroscientist, theoretical, this is why, theoretical, they don't know, they don't know the experiences that we go through. I do. I have astral travel. I have mediumship. I have a lot of downloads. I have the dissociation and the REM coming in my brain. And you don't see me going around dressing up like a Viking because that would be ridiculous. I'm in 2023. I'm not time traveling. I want to make a difference now, not tomorrow. So the future, it's bright. Let me get to something. If any person who is watching this, in any way, shape, or form, you're serious about yourself. Why the 3-year-old? The first year of life, only your right brain hemisphere is online. Then the left, I believe, comes back online, or comes online. It wasn't ever offline. But there's a way the brain develops. So the brain science people explain it well. I forget data. That's why I'm pseudoscience lady again. I also will make mistakes. I will confuse words, as you can tell. I'm okay with that. I have my resources. I have my educational certificates. It's not the certificates, but I have where I can send you to get the good data. And they're always learning more, like Stephen Porges or Bessel van der Kolk, anybody who's serious about the mental health business, like they're sharing with the community, you're not a fixed diagnosis. Actually, in centers, you can get better with the anxiety and depression or panic attacks. We can talk. Not make statements and yell at each other. You have to respect no. And you don't have apparently the understanding that you're projecting right now, your group, which you've decided like a teenager, however old you are, to go self-righteous and be yelling at somebody. That's called you in a charged state. I get it. You're just now getting comfortable with being different. We're all different. Some of us are more emotional. Some of us are less emotional. No, the reality is the people who have the heartbreak, they don't have a good relationship with emotions because they're not able to see themselves. The 3-year-old still wants to be seen by somebody. So there's a whole bunch of things that are important to know for those who don't yet have the awareness of grown-ups can talk about their emotions and they can get passionate. And this is where you're shit. And they love and hug it out. That's what true friendship is. That's what true relationship is. It's not the cancel culture. This is erroneous information that people, you know how many people I know take quizzes to find out who they are? I started to become an adult. I'm like, why are you still looking to quizzes? I mean, I got it as a teenager. I'm a kid. I'm trying to define myself. Once you're an adult, you don't know who you are. You're your name. Do you not have an idea of where you're going? Some people don't. That's the part. They don't have the healthy self-worth. I'm not superior and inferior, but you need to get to your 3-year-old. Patrick Tiahan, he offers Overcoming the Toxic Family System course. You should check it out because he is a childhood trauma survivor who's now a therapist and explains the importance learning about codependent types and about your childhood trauma with a good therapist that can hold space for the childhood trauma stuff. And this is where we're going to go to part 2 after because I don't have enough time. But for the 3-year-olds that stayed whole, we're like, well, dude, who are you to tell me how to think or feel? Don't come telling me anything, and I won't come telling you anything. It's all it is to be a guru. It's to say, I'm a person, you're a person. Cool. We're going to make mistakes. Yes, we're going to talk about it, but only the functional adults talk about it. Adaptive children, they build a case. And then they're going to say, here, I'm going to slap it in your face. And now, haha. And it's like, not really, but okay, that's cool. Bye. So Tune in for more if you want. There's always this and that, as you all know, the regular listeners and viewers. So